The way writing works now is, and this will also explain Atticus's role with me, why he's invaluable and why we're co-credited. If you sat in a room and watched, it might look like I'm the one playing the music and Atticus is the one recording the music, but really what's happening is I've found, like up until the Fragile, I worked the computer, I did everything. I set the mics up, I sang the stuff, I edited the stuff, I tried to mix the stuff best I could, I backed up the hard drives. And then when we got to the Fragile, I got someone else to do a lot of that stuff under the excuse of, well, now I can just think about the music. But in reality, it was laziness. No, but what's happened now since then is when I describe the writing process where we'll sit down and cerebrally think about stuff, you know, we're not speaking too abstract, we're talking very tangibly about what do we want, how do we achieve it, what's the best stuff, should we try this, we could try some of that. Maybe we won't do anything that involves a sequencer, and there'll be no grid, okay, or everything will be performed as though it's on tape, or might be to tape, or whatever it might be. Then it switches into, I don't want to think about any of that stuff, and I can go in my head and just write things. And like pretty much all the songs on Social Network, all the tracks, came from, generally speaking, one long performance that would start. He starts recording, maybe there is a piano set up, and there's also some loops or various synthesizer, or modular synthesizer with a certain type of sound. And then we'll just go, and I'll hone in on a part, say on a piano, and then I'll nod at him, and he's got it. And I'm hearing that in my head now, and he knows what I liked from it. And I'll go to the part that I think would be nice to work with that, even though I'm not hearing that anymore. And then without stopping, we'll go to something else, and I realize, oh, accidentally, that kind of sounds like a bass. Let me try this rhythm. And that can go in 1 hour, half-hour long chunk. Then it usually reaches a point where I'm frustrated and it's run out. Then I'll leave the room, and he'll sit in there for an hour and call me back in, and now it's, the pieces I heard are now arranged into something that isn't exactly what I heard, but it's better than how I remember hearing it because he picked the best stuff. And he may have tuned something up and created something out of something I didn't realize I did. And we get a lot done, and it's inspiring. So instead of what I would have had to done in the past is take a break, now have to go through all that stuff I just did and get pissed off because that sucked and that wasn't quite right. And it ends up being, he's not just arranging, it's kind of, it really we complement each other, you know, and we have an understanding where we don't even have to speak a lot of times, and we know what, I feel like when I leave, it's going to be better than how I hear it in my head. When I come back, it is, and then we take it up from there. You know, it really is a nice working relationship we have.